Okay. As I explained, hi guys. Anyway, as I explained in one of my previous videos, I found my so-called soulmate, my equal. We are the same, and yet we are totally different. But that's the exciting part. So, what I realized is okay, we both obviously have histories with lovers, and that can sort of trigger insecurities. You don't know them, you don't know how they were, unless your loved one tells you that you are amazing and that you're so much better than them and you're so much sexier and so much hornier and sorry, so much more beautiful and so much more handsome and stuff. Unless your loved one tells you that and you completely believe it, that sort of little pinprick of jealousy, of insecurities will always be there. And I noticed that in him, and I noticed that also in me. And however much someone says they love you and they don't love somebody else, there's always that little thing of not knowing. If your lover says, "Oh, I've never felt so loved in my life," you could always, if you doubt their words, then you can always say, "Well, I'm sure you've been happy with someone else at some point. You were in love with somebody else at some point, and that was completely cool too. But don't say that you weren't, because that would make it untrue." So, having been in love before and having had good sex before and having been, in heaven with someone before is completely fine. But, it needs to be acknowledged. But also it needs to be acknowledged that doesn't matter anymore, because the now, we're living in the now, and the now is, the love for each other. And there's nothing that is important anymore. So I had the inspiration, or I came up with a game. So I said, why don't we not refer to the past ever again? Like, not refer to it, not saying, "Oh, my previous relationship did this and this," or when in a couple of years ago when I was there, that was fun. But basically say everything we say in the now. So, what does that mean? What does it mean to what we say? It means that we say not like, "Oh, I've been in this restaurant with one of my exes." You could say, "I love this restaurant. It's one of my favorites, and I'm taking I'm taking loved ones there." The impact is so much different. It's just presumes that, okay, I love this place, and this is where I'm taking you because I love you. And not mention any of the exes, because it doesn't mean anything. The past doesn't mean anything. What is important is the now. So place everything in the now as it happens. So I could say, "Oh, I used to do this, but I don't do it anymore." What does that mean? But it changes completely, the dynamics. If you say, "This is fun to do. I'm not doing it at the moment, but it's fun." It's like you cannot erase the past by mentioning it. But by erasing the past, bad or good, by acknowledging it, that was a point at some point, but the now is what counts. Being in the now erases the past, and it also takes away any pressure for the future. Because that's my big thing. I don't need a plan. I don't want a plan, but I feel I need to. I feel it's expected. I'm, making a business plan and goals and all of that. And I always used to fight against that. I was like, I don't want to make plans, but in order to run a business, I have to, because there's responsibility and all of that. But it's bullshit. It's just us stressing, or me stressing myself out. So how would, ask yourself every day, how would your behavior and what you're saying change if there was no past? If today is the beginning of your life, and if you had no reference to the past, and it's such a powerful thing, I keep on doing it, and Alex is doing it too, and it's incredible. It makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. And it doesn't mean that we're erasing the past because the past was there. It means that we won't get held back by the past. And I believe so strongly about that. And I also think that this is the whole conundrum we're facing at the moment with the Black Lives Matters and Black against white and racism and everything, because we're trying to pull the past into the present all the time. And obviously we can't erase the past by saying that it didn't happen. Of course it happened. But how would someone, how would a policeman face let's say a black man? This seems to be the dynamics at the moment. How would a white policeman face a black guy in the street if there was no past? If the minute they meet, they don't know nothing about each other, or they know nothing about the past. How would they meet? How would they interact? This is how it needs to be, and no other way. We let go of the past by being in the present. And then the future will be glorious because we are in the present. But by constantly referring to slavery and all the injustice that was done, we're just bringing it into present, and we'll never get rid of it. No matter how many riots, and no matter how many reforms, how many ideas and thoughts and black businesses and white businesses, it will never go away until we stop referring to the past in the present. And it completely works. It changes the mindset. And this is what we need to do. This is how it works. And it's amazing. And the future, therefore, is amazing. There is no past unless we make it so, unless we put it into the present. There you go. There is no past unless we put it in the present. And then it's not the past anymore. Then it's the present. Totally makes sense. So, have a nice day. And speak to you soon. Maybe not. I don't know. Have we ever spoken before? I don't know anything of the past. So this is my first video ever. There you go. It goes crazy. Play with it. It's so much fun. It's so liberating because you're not bound to anything your ancestors have done that seem to be going on. Be in the now and live the now, and don't live in the past. Because if you live in the past, there will be no future. All that counts is the present. So, make today the present.